Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Antoinette H. Jones. She is a writer and she's a children's author, and she became one at the age of 49. Welcome to the show, Antoinette.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You are welcome. You are welcome to the show, Antoinette. You are welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll be talking about resilience and friendship, learning for a lot about all these things from you. We'll be also talking about your book, The Independence. So we'll do that. But before we do all this learning, let's learn a bit about you, your transition from your earlier career to being a children's author, that too at age of 49. Help us bit about your background, about your journey, so that we can learn from that.
Absolutely. I was working in education for years, not as a teacher, usually in administration, but I mentored, I worked with young kids and after school programs. I worked with them um, in new student groups, and I got to know their personalities really well. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to help kids in the day-to-day lives, but I felt like I couldn't do it through administration. And then, of course, like a lot of people, the pandemic changed a big part of my life. So I had to look at what I was doing and figure out how I can make the connections that I wanted to make. And I thought that writing a book would be the way to do it because it was the thing that touched me so much growing up. Like reading a book could transport you out of your space and put you anywhere in the world, and you could learn about so many people and different things and different communities. And I was like, that is the way that I want to connect with the kids that I've been trying to connect with all these years.
Absolutely, absolutely, Antoinette. And so I want to understand your decision to become a children's author at 49.
Hmm.
It shows how passionate one if how one can have a passion and they can pursue at any stage in life like you did. So
That's
I
right.
want to understand your thought process at that point in time. Did you find it very normal, or did you think, okay, yeah, I am late, but I will begin at whatever stage it is comfortable for me. I want to understand this thought process so that others who are thinking about it, because I personally feel it's never too late at any stage in life.
Yes.
And I myself began doing, I've been in journalism for many years, but yes, I myself started podcasting, doing active podcasting in front of the camera, during COVID, after I
Hmm.
have done around 20 plus years in journalism. So I totally agree with you, but I want to understand your thoughts on this so that the audience understands and gets lessons for themselves if they are planning to do so for themselves.
I agree with you 100%. Like, there is no age limit on fulfilling your dreams. And we see those stories in the news on a regular basis now where people are graduating from college at 100 years old, or starting their career changes like me at 49, because we're still here. Like,
Right.
if not now, when? Like,
Absolutely.
you've done all of the things that people told you to do. You've led the life that you were supposed to live, and you still didn't fulfill your dream. So if you're not going to do it now, when are you going to do it?
Right.
Bringing that purpose and joy into your life is a wonderful thing, and it's not easy. I think
Right.
that I think the cliche is life is simple but not easy. So it's simple to follow your dream. It's simple to look and see what it is that you want, but it's not easy. The steps to become an author were not easy, but I'm grateful for the journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely grateful for the journey. Why children's book? There could have been other options also, but why children's book specifically? What is it that you wanted to uh, do, especially through a children's book?
I want to help them build that resilience, and I want them to understand the joy in friendship. What I noticed as the years went on is the changes in the relationships between the students. And I remember how pivotal junior high school was for me. Now they call it middle school. And those friendships were very strong. Those friendships are part of the transition from you separating from your parents and becoming an individual. And if you don't have that connection, it can be really hard. And people don't have the resilience that they used to, where we had to do hard things. And we didn't
Right.
realize that we were building our resilience at the time, but it's what builds your resilience. So I wanted to find a way to connect with them to say, you can do hard things, and sometimes life is difficult, but it's gonna be okay.
Absolutely. So, how do these young people learn resilience? Means, is it something that can be injected? Is it that can be read in a book? I want to understand what are or you subject them to artificial problems, then they learn resilience. How do you learn friendship in a world which is changing so fast, where people are, getting much more dependent on this whole concept of artificial intelligence, and everything
Mhm.
is changing. Means nowadays I never used to think that there would be a time when I would ask someone, even in a in a customer care sort of, when I call, whether it's a human or a bot
Oh
which
yeah,
whom I am talking to. So
yeah.
in that side of a backdrop, I want to understand your thoughts on this aspect of resilience and friendship, especially from a children's point of view.
Oh, great. Learning resilience is like a muscle. Anything else, you have to practice it, and you do it with age appropriate things that may be a challenge. I mean, the first thing might be tying your shoe. Like, so a lot of
Right.
kids struggle with tying their shoes, but it's not like they can't do it. It's just something that takes time. And then once they get a challenge and they overcome that small challenge, then they feel a little more confident. They feel like I can do these things. And you do that throughout the childhood. You do that throughout your life. You have challenges. You face those challenges. And you no, not that you don't need help with those challenges sometimes, but you have to have a little confidence, and you can't have confidence if you don't have the opportunity to overcome challenges. And nowadays, like you were saying, with a lot of us being connected online but not connected in real life, friendship is one of those things that can really help you. Like, just having one. You don't need a lot, you just need one. If you have that one person that you connect with emotionally, that can give you the support, and sometimes get those conversations out of your head out into the world and realize, oh, it's not that bad. Oh, it's not just me. And that's one of the things that I wanted them to get from my book, is reading a story about other kids that are going through challenges and saying, oh, so other people are having these things happen and they are still okay. I could be okay too. Because our minds, the studies show, don't know the difference between the emotions that we feel when we're reading the book and the emotions that we feel in real life. So if they feel that emotion when they're reading my book, that things are going to be okay, then they can carry that over into their real lives.
Absolutely. I like that example of, tying the knot of your shoes, and I see it that if you learn tying the knots of your shoes early in your life, that will teach you to untie the knots that will come up later in your life, the bigger ones and
Absolutely.
the bigger ones, and you will find it also easy for yourselves. That's what these things can teach people about. Now let's come to your book, Antoinette, The Independent. Uh, let help us understand what is this book about. You mentioned it, but I want to understand it from a totally new perspective, so that audience who joins in later, they understand what this book is all about. And who is this book for? Is it for children, their parents, teachers? I want to understand all this from you.
Absolutely. The book is written for middle grade, so basically 9 to 12-year-olds are the target audience. But I've had strong readers as young as 6 who enjoyed it. She actually devoured it over a weekend. And I've had readers as old as 81 who've enjoyed it and told me like it was so relatable and it reminded them so much of their childhood. So the group, anybody can enjoy it, but the targeted group is 9 to 12-year-olds, because they're at that stage where they're going to transition from elementary school to middle school, and it's really a tough transition for them, but they're ready for it. Like, they're excited about seeing what's going to happen next. And hopefully my story about Avery, who is joint starting the seventh grade, is going to help them because she is moving from the city to the suburbs, and she's leaving everything she knows and everyone she loves to go to this new place, and she's not happy about it. Then on top of that, she loses her journal, and she's really excited to start the school year, but now she can't be excited because she has to find this journal. And so she's looking for friends who can help her. And she meets four amazing friends who are also all going through their own personal journeys at home. And they support each other through that and try to find this journey. I mean, trying to find Avery's journal and connection with each other.
Wonderful, wonderful, Antoinette. Now, in terms of teachers, we look at it from teachers, parents, how they can use the lessons from your book to build stronger, connections and create coping mechanisms in their own lives. How can you do that?
Well, starting out, it's easier because I provide questions at the back of the book after the story. So there are discussion questions in there to build connection through the story with a teacher or a parent, whomever is reading with the child. And it offers the student a chance to maybe have some difficult conversations that they might have wanted to have before, but excuse me, not know how to bring up. So having this book as an opportunity to open discussion for classrooms and parents is one of my goals because, like I said, we have a lot of stuff happening in our brains, and kids are going through a lot of things, and emotionally, they don't always know how to express those things. So these questions can give them a chance to ask questions that they didn't even know they wanted to ask, or in a way that seems less scary.
Right, right, Antoine. Now, when we talk of friendship, uh, times are such in today's time that we are also teaching our children that not all friendship is good. Not everyone who approaches you is good. That's
Mhm.
why this whole word of do not talk to strangers, because these are not old times, these are different times, difficult times. How should parents, and if children can understand, how should they differentiate between uh, the real friendship and not so good friendship, people who are wanting to you know come forward only because they have an agenda in their heads? Is it too early to tell them, or because a lot of times are nowadays, because of AI, because of social media, our children are very much within the reach of all the predators from outside the world?
Very true. Very true. And it can be really scary. I actually I address that kind of in my book with her talking about the different types of people that are in the school, like knowing who your friends are, knowing what those behaviors are that can identify a friend to you. But also in real life, parents are the ones who can say, "Oh, I think we need to think about what it means to be a friend." Like to me, I always taught my kids there's certain levels to it. So somebody that you know is not your friend. They just
Right.
are someone that you know. They may be an associate, someone that you hang out with. That's a buddy. But to know a friend and to be a good friend, which is also very important, is to know how that person makes you feel and if it's okay for that person to meet your parents. So if your parents can meet that person and say, "Oh, this is a great person. This is somebody who really cares about you. I like the way you guys are talking to each other." Then it's a safe person. But to teach your kids that at a very young age, they need to have an adult to okay that person. They have to be someone that is age appropriate. It has to be someone that your parents are okay with, and it has to be someone who treats you good all the time. It can't be someone who's only nice to you when nobody else is around.
Right, right, absolutely. You have addressed all these questions very, very well. Now, touching back again, to the topic of pursuing dreams, and dreams keep on. People want to see others in their succeeding with their dreams. One want to dream for themselves, but many a times they do not see the difficult times that others have covered or are spent in pursuing. their dreams.
Hmm.
Many a times, in this age of things that look so colorful, or artificial intelligence, everything can happen in a jiffy, and you will feel that. But it actually does not happen in real life,
Nope.
and it takes a lot of ground to cover. What does it take to achieve your dream or pursue your dream? I want you to share from your own example, so that people know that dreams are possible, but you must work towards it. Work for it has to have certain degree of dedication for it.
Absolutely. And I think that, like you said, with the videos and things, they make everything look
Right,
so quick. And I even learned from the kids that when they're doing video games, like they think things are easier because they can do it virtually. And then
right,
in real life, it's a lot harder than it used to be.
right.
And so
Absolutely.
part of that is, as an adult, even knowing your resilience, like looking at the things that have prepared you along the way. I didn't know that working in a school was going to prepare me for this journey. I didn't know that um, getting my finances together was going to help me in this journey, because those are things that I was doing, but they all later on came to be for the good. I didn't want to stop learning. I didn't want to stop growing at 49. I was like, I'm getting ready to turn 50. What is it that I really want to do with my life? And writing the book took like 18 months. It wasn't a very quick process at all. I was new to the genre. I was new to being an author. So I had to learn. I had to read a lot. I had to join groups of other authors who were willing to share their information with me. I had to put myself out there and find out what it was that I needed to do to bake a good quality product and get it into the hands of the kids that I wanted to get it into. And I'm still learning. I am still learning every day. I'm still trying to figure out a better way to do it. I'm still listening to experts, but I don't want to stop learning ever. I don't want to ever be into the space where it's like, oh, I know it all, because there's always something else to learn.
Absolutely. There is always something to learn, and you keep on learning. For the audience, there is always so much to learn from you, and I'm sure a lot of them would like to connect with you, learn about you, learn from you. Also want to learn if you are writing another book. So, what's the best way for them to do so?
The easiest way is always to just visit my website, AntoinetteHjones.com. Also on Instagram, I'm also Antoinette H. Jones. I'd love to hear what people think. I'd love to hear about their response to the book, and we can connect in the independence community, and I can answer any questions that they have.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
Thank you.